Hello, hi. How are you? We're still working on the Torah portion called Terumah, which is talking about the Mishkan, that's a tabernacle, how they're built and how what are the importance to the Mishkan. Yesterday we started the subject on the covenant box, the Ark of the Covenant, and we just talked about a little things. But today I want to explore a little more in the Ark of the Covenant. You know, in the Ark of the Covenant, yesterday we saw there were two rods were kept. That was kept for permanently. Nobody should remove the rods because those are the rods, that they used to carry the covenant of the Ark. And also the carrying the covenant of the Ark is very important because there is two creatures that we talked about yesterday, and also I told that these two creatures have the baby faces, hugging each other with the wings. Both of them are covered, so that even if you go on either side, you will see their face than the back of the ark. So when you carry the ark, also though the Kohanim or the priests or the Levites will carry face to face. If two people from the backside will face, and then the people, those who are going in the front, also face the cherubims, because the cherubims are hugging each other, and they both have the baby faces with covering the big wings, hugging together. So they never show the back to those cherubims. So there is a procedure methodologically. So they have to carry this way only. So the ark of the rods, which is attached with the in the holes of those two rings on the both sides, these rods should never be taken out. Because why? Why this is not to be taken out means that what the sages they are telling is that Torah should be continuously taught in the temple and to the public and to the humankind. That should never be removed. Torah should not be just stopped by teaching and preaching. It should be taught every single day until the second coming of Jesus Christ or the God's coming. So it must be taught. There were a lot of other vessels in the Holy Temple. There were a lot of other things that, like vessels for wine, or so many things were there. But they had some different rods for them to take those vessels. But these vessels, rods, were completely kept attached with that box, because the box contains the Torah book, the Torah, and then meaning that this Torah should never be stopped, never be removed from the temple, never be removed from the people's heart. Each and everyone must have the Torah in their heart. So it should be taught every single day. It should be kept like that, alive. That's why those rods were completely put inside the both rings and never be removed from the one. Also the dimensions, yesterday I just simply slightly touched on, because the dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant was 2.5 by 1.5 amos. Amos means like almost 18 inches. It's like 1 cubit. So it's a pretty big box. So yesterday I talked about the gold which was covering the box. But why only these arcs measurements are 2.5 into 1.5 or 3.5 into 1.5 half? It wasn't like the other Mishkan tabernacles measurement. It's like 10 cubic feet, 50 cubic feet. It was like half and half. Why the Ark of Covenant measurement should be half? This is what it is. The meaning is that it has the Torah. Torah, you cannot just completely, understand the Torah, because Torah is a vast knowledge. It's an infinite wisdom, an infinite knowledge. Human finite mindset will never understand completely. So the Torah is also, to be understood every single day by reading it, by discovering it more and more. That's why half, because you cannot just read one time the Torah and then you complete it and you understood everything. So that's what it is. The measurements are like half, because you still have, we need to continue a lot of things to understand the Torah completely. Folks, the minute details that God has taken, you know, in our lifetime, it's unbelievable, folks. That's what I'm telling you. We need to focus these minute details. In a Gentile world, we never focus all these things. We just jump into so many blessings and so many things and we run away. Okay, before I run out of time, I want to tell one more thing. So now this has been told, and then now David was doing this, bringing this covenant box in a fantastic way. He puts in a big, huge cart, beautifully decorated cart, and then he's bringing the cart. We all knew that he was dancing, singing, enjoying so fantastically, bringing the covenant box to his hometown. I mean, we knew all these things, and there are a lot of controversies going on there because people started dancing like David, and then I already talked about another video. But when he was dancing and singing, and he was singing, David, and we know that the ark went and fell, and then Uzzah went and hold that ark, and Uzzah died. And what was the reason that God hit Uzzah and he died? And a couple of explanations were there. One of the explanations was Uzzah was a faithless person, without faith, and he went and touched that one. He went and supported this Ark of the Covenant, and then God was angry and he killed him. That was one. The other one was, David was singing. David was the reason for Uzzah's death, because while David was singing, he was singing that God, I enjoy singing your the Torah, the covenants, the covenants, because even though if I don't understand much, it gives me more pleasure, because first time singing, second time singing, I enjoy the same enjoyment, even multiple times I sing. So I enjoy singing your Torah. I enjoy singing your commandments. It gives me much more, pleasure, even though if I don't understand it. That's how he's singing. So God got wild, and he was mad, because how come you can say that to me, even though if you don't understand it, you sing it, and then you're enjoying the singing of it. No, mine is not only, David was claiming, I'm doing your will, thy will be done, so I'm doing your will, God. So God was saying, it's not only my will, it is the divine pleasure that you must enjoy. But you didn't say that one. You only was talking about the divine will. Now God was angry, and he made him to sin. What was the biggest sin that David did? The biggest sin David did was, even the baby or a 5-year-old will tell how to carry the Ark of the Covenant. How to carry the Ark of the Covenant. It should be carried by the Kohanim. It should be carried by the face-to-face. It should be carried on their shoulders. What David did? David put it in a big cart. Of course, the expensive cart. Of course, he was enjoying with the oxen in front of it. Of course, he did, but he forget the holiness of it. He didn't make the priests to carry the box. Kohanim to carry the box. The way it was supposed to be. That's why the rods were kept. That's why the Kohanim are supposed to do. So David didn't do it. So that's why God hit Uzzah, and Uzzah would die. It was David's fault that David didn't do it properly. And also, folks, I was trying to tell you this one also. Even the covenant, Ark of the Covenant, we saw that there were two creatures on top of the covenant box. We can say that when we read this mitzvah, God was telling him, usually, first we'll keep the Torah inside, then, put the lid on top of it, then cover it. But in the Torah, actually what God was telling is, make the box and keep the box first, and then put the Torah inside, which is kind of unusual, because we thought that how come you can close the box and then you can put the Torah inside. That is not, you make the box and then you put the Torah inside. So it is not some kind of a difficult understanding over there. So actually the lid was, both of them are separate lids. It was not like attached with the box. It was totally a separate piece. But even though they are separate pieces, they're all considered as a one box because they had three boxes. Remember, three boxes. So, when this is what the meaning is. So God was telling them, make sure that you're putting the boxes correctly, even though if it is separate, make it sure that you are putting it in the correct way and closing it in the right way. On the top of that, we had the two cherubims. The cherubims are baby faces, but we don't see that one. Here on the cherubims, we only see from the far distance, like it is kind of a big winged creatures. But the cherubims are just like baby creatures. It's like a male and female babies, and they're hugging each other. It represents the God's love towards the humankind, because it's just like a baby's love that he wants to hug and he wants to be with his people, be with all the whole humankind, and let them learn this Torah and to work with the Torah. That's what it is. So maybe sometimes they may ask why they didn't put the male and female adult ones, but instead of putting the adult people, then why he put the baby faces there? Because it gives much more importance. Baby faces tells you the unconditional love of God towards humankind. So these are the two pictures on top of it over there. And also, folks, when you read this, the covenant boxes, when you understand these covenant boxes, and also Ark of the Covenant box should not be imitated with the same size. Should never be imitated with the same size. Even though we have a lot of models of Ark of the Covenant nowadays, we have seen a lot of the models of the menorahs, and they are not exactly, because the temple's ornament, the temple's artifacts are not supposed to be recreated the same size like it is or it was in those days. So it is a rule, it is a law, it is a commandment, that it's a mitzvah that they should not be repeating the same size of those commandments. So folks, each and every time when we deal with these important details, it plays a lot of things in our lifetime too. We cannot just skipping the important details. We cannot just take it like, yeah, David danced, we also will dance. We skip the whole part of it, and David was punished for that purpose, and Uzzah was died for that purpose, because how holy it is. How holy it is to have the Torah in us. The Torah is the life. Torah is the running engine in us. Without Torah, the world can never function the way that it should function, the way that God expects the world to be functioned. It is not going to happen unless if we keep the Torah in us and reflect the Torah in our life. That's what I'm telling you. Torah is kept in the golden box, and outside the golden box also the covenant box is also made of gold, so we should be reflecting the gold as the gold inside our hearts. That's the Torah. Commandments, covenants are the only important things that God is expecting us to fulfill this world, folks. It is not easy, because Satan has did a lot of work for the 2,000 years. He entered into the churches, and he entered into the Christian life, and he put all the covenants into a big mess up there. Now we do not even know what is right and what is wrong, which is sin, which is not sin. So folks, it is about time for us to turn back and give the importance to the covenant box. The covenant box is inside our heart. We need to build our Mishkan temple in the heart every single day. Every single day we will build the Mishkan temple. We'll keep the heart holy, and we'll reflect ourselves, our life holy. I'll come back with another Torah portion next time, and until then, be safe and enjoy your day. Bye.